Hey, hey, hey. It's time
Hello.
for the last. Did it's my turn?
Okay.
Remember, you're a guest today. Okay, you can start as well.
Okay. Short intro from me. Hello from Sofia, Bulgaria. I'm the guest of this episode of Ask Us Anything about LinkedIn today. So if there is some issues with my internet, please forgive me, but I'm not in my usual setting. But anyway, this is the last episode of the year, so we are going to make a wonderful wrap up of the year. Everything about LinkedIn that has changed, that has improved, or maybe has deteriorated. We'll see. We're going to discuss it. So we have prepared a few topics about today. Feel free to ask your questions in the comments because that's a format for you to ask your questions and get the information from us, the LinkedIn experts. Thank you very much for being with us, and maybe we're going to see some predictions also for the next year. We'll see. Today with us is also another bookmark member, Ushka. Hi, Ushi. It's
Hello,
great.
everyone.
And let's start with something that was a big topic in during the whole year, and that is AI. What is the new that we saw during the year with AI? Dari, can you tell us?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I would say it's not surprising that I'm the one starting this off. I think if you've watched us over the year, you've already heard AI being mentioned a lot. In the beginning, we were mostly talking about, that craze, that fever of is AI completely going to take over the job market? Are people, going to get kicked out of work because of it? I think during the past year, we've seen this dynamic slightly shifting, and we've also seen LinkedIn sort of, I wouldn't say as much supporting it, but riding along for the wave. Didi mentioned, but over the past year, we've seen so many news when it comes to LinkedIn and AI, and that is just not surprising at all. Sometime in the beginning of the year, they actually had a report, and according to it, their number one source of revenue, their premium subscriptions. During the beginning of the year, it was only for personal accounts. Right now, it's also possible for company pages, but those subscriptions, they had a rise of over 20% of them. And it was a rise because they have started integrating AI features into them. I'm almost tempted to say aggressively because right now, through your personal profile, you can generate an AI about section. You can also help yourself out when it comes to your job search. And in terms of the company pages themselves as well, if you buy a premium subscription for a company page, which is also one of the very big new things on LinkedIn this year, you will also get the help of AI. AI will help you with organizing the information. AI will help you with basically creating content, even. And it is, yeah, it's everywhere. To sum it up, even last month, we had basically news about everyone, about the HRs. Specifically, we had news about everyone that's hiring on LinkedIn that very, very soon they will even integrate an AI hiring assistant. So it will be able to to generate for you descriptions of jobs. It will be able to help you with messaging potential applicants and all these sort of amazing things. But the AI hiring assistant, the tools that are offered for premium profiles, and all these other integrations, one thing that also pops up to mind is the accelerate ad campaigns. Right now, we can also use AI to get even better results out of them, to get even better suggestions. All of these are, let's say, nice things, things that play into the narrative of AI is not here to take over our jobs. AI is here to help us in our jobs, to be more effective, to be more productive, to basically get more done for less time, and be able to really focus on the important things. So those are the nice things, those are the hopeful things, but there is also another side, I would say, to that coin, another side to that blade. Basically, AI is also spreading and helping with the spreading, sadly to say, of misinformation. And LinkedIn have also addressed that. Basically, they've entered a verification against fake profiles, against AI generated profiles. And they've also complied with European and I think even international guidelines on AI image creation and image edits. So basically, maybe you've noticed in your feed if there's this small CR icon somewhere on the images, then they have been generated not necessarily with AI, but maybe the AI Photoshop has been used to take out somebody is smoking a cigarette even. It's a very trivial case, but if you're posting a company photo, then you don't want those sort of things in the image. So yeah, you can use AI to take them out. But those are the nice cases. Those weren't why this was sort of implemented in LinkedIn. It was implemented because a lot of people are using it to generate images that are sometimes they lead you to believe in a reality that is not true. And people are
Dari,
susceptible to this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dari, how does content change with the attack of internal generative AI presented by LinkedIn and, as you already said, somehow pushed by LinkedIn?
I would say content has changed for both the better and the worse. AI does give us the freedom to sort of live out our wildest dreams. Sometimes, yeah, even in image creation, it helps us with ideation. But it is also, when we talk about AI, it's a lot of Chat GPT. And what Chat GPT does is it's a large language model. It creates content that's already based on content that is out there. So the more you use it, and there is some research very recently done that says that according to organization, I'm trying to remember the name right now. I think it had to do something with creativity AI. They did a research on I think about 5,000 LinkedIn posts from the beginning of the year up until now. And they said that nearly 50, if not over 50% of them had been generated by AI or had some sort of an AI trace to them. So, you live out your wildest dreams, but at the same time, AI is being overused currently, and you can sometimes sense it in the follow the same structure, they sort of use the same key and catchphrases. So it's definitely had some negative effects, and you can sense it on your feed that a lot of things do seem to be sounding the same, do seem to be generated with AI.
Yeah, and it basically looks like all the people who are, in fact, writing their own. Of course, not all the people, but some of the people who are writing actually their own updates, their own copies, are starting to sound like they are large language model. So is it becoming a trend or sorts? All these hooks and all these similar structures of every post. It's kind of annoying. Uh, is it overwhelming, LinkedIn?
I would say that yeah, you can sense it a little bit simply because AI is the craze, like when it comes to creating content. So I feel like yeah, the trendsetters they are using a lot of the times AI to say like, oh, this is the best sort of structure, uh, and this is what you can do. You know, a lot of really large accounts have branched out into that, how to use AI to make your posts look the best. And sometimes, yeah, people just follow along, even if they're not using AI, they're using these hooks, they're using these trends. Basically, LinkedIn is, in the end, a social media network, and as with everywhere else, it's acceptable to what the current craze is. And if the current craze is AI, then yeah, you have people just following along blindly to what they see as popular, to what they think will get them likes, will get them reactions. And yeah, they sometimes originality is better rather than just going along with the flow just because someone told you so. I
Yeah.
don't know what everyone else thinks, but yeah.
Do we have any AI skeptics in the team or among the viewers?
I would let myself intrude. In fact, I haven't been speaking for the last 11 minutes, so it's quite an achievement.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
news.
yeah, I personally love AI. I integrate it into the majority of the things I'm doing in my daily lifestyle, from personal projects to university matter through my professional work. It's all some sort of integrated, no matter if it's just for ideas, if it's for execution, if it's for creative thinking. AI is a big part um, of my daily routine now. And I would personally say that for everyone who is skeptic about AI, for everyone who is skeptic whether AI will demolish us, will kill us, will basically uh, replace us. AI will replace AI. In fact, won't replace us, but the people using AI will replace the others who are not using AI. So um, be brave and experiment now, because probably in a few months or years, if you are not up to date with the latest technologies, with the latest trends, with the latest AI tools that have been intruded, improved, and welcome to the digital world, you will be more or less invisible.
Yeah, but the thing is that uh, I spent last weekend trying to create a custom GPT for LinkedIn strategy creation, and it gave me nothing. I spent really hours and hours trying to teach the LLM what to ask, how to structure the results, and yet it didn't happen. So probably I didn't do most of the things in a technical way, probably, and still for the strategic stuff, it's still the people. So yeah, it won't kill us, hopefully, but we have enough time to catch up. And yeah, let's use it for copywriting. Of course, it's okay, but to develop your own ideas, it's just not a part of a team.
Since you have mentioned that you have tried to create your own GPT, I'm curious, did you give the AI like short sentenced paragraphs, like instructions, or you explained the language model in details? What do you want to achieve? That's a question for Alex, eventually.
Yeah, well, I usually do both since my approach is more of a conversational.
Mhm.
Of course, I've tried the tailored prompts. Of course, I spent probably not enough, but quite some time looking at different videos, different instructions, approaches, and yet there's a lot of work to do more, and it sometimes it looks like it doesn't understand what you're asking for, even if you say, okay, now change the approach, give me longer texts, give me details in this direction. It didn't work for this one.
I personally believe, just probably finishing up this topic, that AI is similar to advertising in some ways, and to machine learning in advertising, as one ad can basically adapt and learn to which people should it advertise within the probably first 3 or 4 days. It needs to have at least 3 or 4 days to pass, so that can adapt and can influence the people that would be um, most interested in the offer and in the actual thing you're selling. It's similar with the AI. It doesn't happen within hours. Probably it will take a couple of days. It will take probably a month to create a full functioning AI model that will um, develop and that will improve every single day and will basically give the results you're looking for. Here doesn't only goes for strategy for copywriting, but for everything. In fact, for example, I have been using AI to summarize my topics for an important exam that I will be having, and with every single topic being summarized, it gets cleverer and cleverer and understands me what do I actually need and what should it aim for the response. So it takes time,
Okay, well,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
and one
then
more
I
thing.
suggest we finish the year teaching it how to create better strategies for LinkedIn. Are you in? And of course, everyone who wants to jump in, testing it, is welcome. So it's just a beta. It's just an experiment. Uh, but yeah, it's a good thing for everyone who wants to get some help with their own personal profiles, strategizing their presence on LinkedIn, etc. Uh, Probably won't be good enough for full-scale corporate LinkedIn marketing strategies, but yeah, for personal presence, always cool.
Maybe one more thing about AI here in terms of um, giving food to the algorithm, what you put there. So, for example, in terms of the example that you gave about the strategy GPT, are we allowed, for example, to give the AI uh, a complete strategy that we have done for a client? Um, what are the copyrights here? Are we Is it ethical to do it here? And that's a question that is going, in my opinion, to be something very hot topic during the next year and years. The copyrights of all the texts that are inserted there, and how do we protect the authors? So I think institutions are also going to think a lot about this because, as we know, they are those who need to protect, um, yeah, protect us.
Yeah, I
So
think
that's
people.
one aspect that I think we're going to change in the next years.
I'm going to annoyingly jump in after we've been telling you for 5 minutes we're closing on this topic, but I couldn't resist jumping off the back of Didi because one of the other very, very big news that we had during the past year was that LinkedIn was sued in court for training AI off of its users' data giving without those users giving explicit consent to the platform. And that is a very, very big issue on AI. AI creates content because it's trained on content that the users are giving it. And a lot of the times, that information is just being given away from you for free to those models. So do remember that, and that's a little bit also jumping into the copywriting aspect. If the AI, if it's a language model that just feeds off of information that is also created just by itself, then it will collapse. And there have like studies are coming out about collapse within a collapse within such models because they're basically don't have any new original data to feed off of. They're feeding off of things that they themselves have created. But yeah, that's a very, very large topic, and I'm completely going off the rails here. So I'll shut up for now. And in the comments, if you have to say something about it, go for it. Maybe you'll return to this topic.
Yeah, no, 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 please, nobody's shutting up today, or at least for 40 more minutes. Well, who should I pick now? Who should I pick next? Oh, we have a newcomer. It's Lucy. Hey, Lucy, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
Yeah, since of course some kind of an internal joke, but those guys chose me a topic that I didn't like, so I said, "No, I'm not talking about this today. Uh, I will be the moderator, and I will torture you." So this is my way now. So, Lucy, your favorite topic, employee engagement, favorite for 2024, probably before that, but you joined Bookmark at the beginning of the year. So, what happened on LinkedIn regarding employee engagement, employee advocacy, all the tools that we have or we used to have, and we're no longer able to use. Yeah, tell us, how do you see this stuff?
Hello, everyone, from me, and thank you, Alex, for introduction. Maybe all of us already know about the change of November. LinkedIn officially retired the My Company tab, but today I like to talk about something that is really important and will continue to be relevant in the coming years. This is employee advocacy. The My Company tab was a tool that helped companies build internal communities and made it easier for employees to share company content by recommending posts directly to them. Now, why is this important? Your employees are your most powerful community on LinkedIn. They build trust, and according to social report, 90% of customers trust the recommendation from people they know more than post company posts. They also expand your reach, sharing content with their unique networks authentically. Imagine the reach of your post if just 5 employees share it from their personal profiles. That's 5 individuals, each with hundreds of followers in their network. Engaging employees can boost your company page with 4 times more followers and 8 times more views. At our agency, for example, we've seen the power of this approach in action. For example, when participating in an event, each employee can share an individual post with a custom image to announce their involvement. The My Company tab made this even easier, allowing marketing experts to prepare posts for employees who only need to click one button to share them. We applied this approach using the My Company tab and saw great results positioning our agency and supporting our partners on LinkedIn.
Yeah, Washi, but since the My Company tab is already gone, uh, what choices do we have now?
LinkedIn is a dynamic platform, and just like in any growing ecosystem, things change. Some tools disappear to make way to new ones, like, for example, video feed. I see it's an opportunity. It's a it's I don't see this as a loss. It's a chance for all of us to rethink how we create our employee advocacy strategy, from external tools and internal communication strategies, to training and even gamification tools that motivate employees to stay active on topic related to the company. It all depends on how quickly and creatively we can adapt. Mm, as we look ahead, my call to action for all of us is to embrace these changes and use them to show innovation, resilience, and the ability to grow together.
Yeah, am I speaking now? I am.
You are now, yeah. I was
Yeah,
just thinking, what's happening?
I'm kidding, of course. I will be missing the My Company tab since we've been using it for our partners. Yeah, of course, for some of our partners. Uh, since, in fact, since they introduced it, it used to be a standalone application called LinkedIn Elevate, part of the enterprise services, plans, etc. For companies. But they introduced it, I think, right before the pandemic, and yet they decided to kill it. And I'm not sure, Lucy, did you find any reasoning behind the decision? Since I'm not sure whether I've seen some.
Maybe the argument that the platform changing and clear space for trends and needs of all of accounts there.
Uh, I'm not sure whether it's not just some corporate BS, since using this feature for I don't know, even boosting thought leadership, internal thought leadership, and as a good way for the companies themselves to help their key people, their key employees to work on their personal professional profiles. It's always good to have the support of a marketing team, plus sales enablement, etc. And now I'm afraid that companies should be, and they are in fact forced to use third-party applications. So yeah, becoming much harder. But I don't know. Maybe they're preparing something else to as a substitution. Guys, I think we have a comment, so let's show it. Verizar Velev asked, if I write a post in Bulgarian, how can I know if a person from, let's say, Britain will have the feature to translate my post in English? Anyone?
Yeah, I
Or should
can
I take it?
step in here, as I was basically yesterday explaining the topic to a friend of mine who asked me, Emo, I cannot translate my posts to a specific language. Why is that? Actually, you should enable the translation options from the settings of your LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn is has its features translated to different languages. I believe they're around 20 or 30. Unfortunately, Bulgarian is not one of them. But from there, you can choose to what language should LinkedIn um, turn into. I mean, what language should your LinkedIn be present to you, either in German, in Spanish, in English, etc. And what eventually would be the language for the translation posts when you press on C translation. So the case here was that this friend of mine, she's living in Germany. She speaks a bit German, a bit English, but not that confident in both of the languages. And in order to be active on LinkedIn and to be consistent, she needed a boost from the Bulgarian native language that she speaks. So she asked me, "Can I translate my posts to Bulgarian from German or from English?" And unfortunately, LinkedIn doesn't allow that. But as back to your questions, since we have mentioned that you see that the translation option doesn't work at some points, there are specific reasons for that, and some of them are that if the language, for example, has different slangs that are incorporated in the copy of the text. For example, if the post is in English and the person himself or herself has integrated different terms like phrasal verbs, like idioms in the context of the post, probably the translation option doesn't really detect the language itself, and makes it more complicated for the system to analyze and to translate it eventually. Some posts have this privacy original settings that doesn't allow the users to translate, so it's another reason. But essentially, if you post in Bulgarian, your British audience, if you have such, or American or uh, Australian, no matter of the location, should be able to understand your post by the translation option. It's basically all matter of of word use. Let's not forget that we're using a Slavic language with different alphabet, and I have proven myself that LinkedIn finds it a bit more complicated to pretty much understand, to comprehend um, Bulgarian and other languages like Russian, like even Macedonian, are at some points complicated. So this could be a reason as well. If you eventually want to reach those audiences, try to be as clear as possible with your words used in Bulgarian. This would be my advice. In in case you have any other questions, feel free to re-question us back in the comments, and or even write us on a personal message on LinkedIn, or to any uh, of us here on the live stream.
Emo, people don't know what type of exam you were speaking about a few minutes ago, but if you can turn this exact question into a 5 minute lecture, so it's probably that you're preparing for a professor exam. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
This is it's a it's still a secret, to be honest.
Okay.
The majority of my surroundings have no idea what's going on, so let's keep it a secret currently.
Okay. Um, Didi, your turn.
Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering whether I should ask Emo about this topic, but no, let's just switch to you, even though maybe some of our viewers and podcast listeners might remember that I think it was the last edition before the summer break when Emo gave us a challenge to shoot more videos. And there was a reason. Did he? Did you enter this challenge? Did you win it? Did Emo buy you those 5 chocolates? or he didn't?
Actually, I'm not sure. My in my opinion, it was a challenge for you and Teddy, but maybe that's very useful for me to just to remember it this way. Um, Apart from the joke, we did with Emo one very successful video that was prior to my participation in a conference in Varna. We did it. We shoot it several times. But anyway, it was short to the point. It was very engaging, and the organizer of the conference, Iwiliev, shout out to him, very much liked it. So um, we used it at several platforms. He used it as well. He shared it, inviting more people to come to the conference. So one video was reused several times, which is one of the great things that are related to the pros of the video feed, which is what I'm going to share my thoughts on in the next few minutes. Actually, according to Microsoft's Q4 earnings report, video content is the fastest growing format on LinkedIn. So it was no surprise that they introduced the video feed, something which um, at the current moment I think all users have, because as every new feature, it was gradually introduced to users, but I do believe that now everybody has it. So with again from the report, with the increase in video uploads year over year was 34%, and with the shares, the pieces of content that video content that is shared on LinkedIn was 1.5 million. So it's again, I say no surprise that we see the rise of video, and specifically in its short and vertical mobile friendly format. And we can't say that LinkedIn is first here introducing this feature. As we know, LinkedIn is rarely first in introducing new things, but it's doing it wisely, and it's doing it for specific purpose. And now I think that content creators are very, very happy with that feature, because and actually we see it with a lot of videos from TikTok and YouTube shorts. We see repurposing of content. Whether it's done in the most wise way, it's another matter, because currently we see some videos made for TikTok with a watermark shared on LinkedIn, which is not very wise thing to do, but still, yeah, Alex, feel free to interrupt me.
Yeah, once again, very audible. Waiting.
Oh, we have a new host then. Great.
I thought it's me.
You said videos who were made for TikTok with a watermark, but were they made for TikTok? Uh, I mean, is that some particular approach? Since I've been hearing this a lot recently. People started publishing videos made for TikTok. They started publishing them on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is becoming a TikTok, etc., etc. So please explain to the old guy who is not visiting TikTok. Is there a certain thing called a TikTok video, and why don't we want to have it on LinkedIn? Is it a different one? Is it a different type, or a video made for TikTok is just more engaging? It's funnier. It's I don't know, has more scenes than the classical talking head that we keep seeing on LinkedIn. Plus, if those talking heads are the, let's say, the default approach for LinkedIn, isn't it logical to try to break this trend and start getting more and more um, interesting and engaging on LinkedIn? So maybe the Gen Zs among you. Sorry, Didi.
Okay, so I'm quick to take the words. I'm pretty sure.
Perspective. Um, okay, I'll share my opinion on that, and then the Gen Z can step in. I think that here content creators are, some of them, of course, are making a mistake, being misled by this new feature, which allows them to share the same content both on TikTok, because we speak about that platform, and on LinkedIn. But the fact that you can do it technically doesn't mean that you should do it, because whether audience is the same should be leading here. Do you rely on reaching the same audience on TikTok and on LinkedIn? Do you have the same messages for both? That's what should be leading for you when you think of resharing and repurposing content. And yes, we see the trend in terms of creating more engaging, shorter, unfortunately, pieces of content and telling stories. I think that's
Something happened with its internet, perhaps.
Yeah, we lost her. So yeah, time for the Gen Zs to.
Yeah. First of all, I promise I didn't just kick Diddy out because of
Are
my
you
own personal
sure?
vengeance for being interrupted. And I think what I was going to say definitely did align with her opinion, partially, but I think what is typical of TikTok videos is the fact that they're sort of known for being unfiltered, unedited. So you look at it and it really is just like a talking head in their living room, their automatic captions popping up, maybe, but it's somebody that is, I want to say, almost, the guy next door or the girl next door. They're like you and they're sharing their own opinion, and that's why you're willing to listen more. So it's a very casual conversation over there on TikTok. And I think that's one of the reasons the platform has become so big in itself. Word of mouth as something to drive your business forward, as something to drive products forward, has been a thing for like decades, if not millions of years. So I think people, when they saw TikTok, when they saw that unfiltered platform, they were like, oh, there's a lot to capitalize on. And still, with that mindset, they are just reusing stuff for LinkedIn and they're launching them into the platform. But I would say it's not appropriate. Adding on to what Didi said, it's because sometimes you're not trying to reach, like, you're not reaching for the same audience. Your messages, especially when crafted so casually, in a platform that is known for being more professional, just sometimes come off as unserious. And what I can add onto it is right now, there are reels on Instagram, there are YouTube shorts, there's TikTok videos. It's all from one platform into the other. They're all reusing the content somewhat, but still there are some differences for me. For example, on Instagram, you can still see videos that are more cinematography, that are more well curated. And for me, for example, those even are slightly more appropriate for LinkedIn because I do associate LinkedIn with that higher, more professional quality. And yeah, that was from the Gen Z, and I do think, or not yet. Like, my vengeance is still going on, people. So I don't know when you will see Didi, but yeah, hopefully she will be here with us by the ending. But
I will let myself add something as well as the youngest Gen Z here, I assume. In fact, Dari agreed with Didi, but I'm going to interrupt their thoughts and their comment on whether TikTok is actually whether videos are prepared especially for TikTok, um, or there is probably universal way to create short form videos now. Honestly, I would probably say something that will shock the majority of you, but at least for me, before um, adding the videos on LinkedIn, LinkedIn was pretty much a bit static to me, a bit robotic, which was great actually for the platform. But we see with every recent change that LinkedIn is trying to humanize the platform even more and to attract the youngest members of the society or the Gen Zs. Um, for example, as Wushi earlier said, the removal of the My Company tab, it's basically uh, they sacrificed, at least for me, my company tab in order to introduce the a video feed. So basically, the my company tab was reincarnated to the video feed with every single removal of something old school. If we can say that the my company tab was something old school, they're adding something that is more up to date with the latest trends, latest technologies, latest conditions on the market. So TikTok is ruling the market in terms of video, and that's a fact. We can disagree with that, but there is a basically new type of video content, and which is now which is now basically ruling LinkedIn. If on LinkedIn, um, apologies, if on TikTok you can just press on your camera and record a video. On LinkedIn, people are investing. People are investing time. They're investing money. They're investing resources to create quality videos and to basically attract the right audiences to their needs and to their goals. Imagine someone who have spent 7 hours and €1,000, for example, just for one simple video. His dedication is pure. His dedication is honest, and his dedication is pretty much admirable. So to anyone who is investing time, money, and resources, I know a few guys that are investing their heart and souls into the videos they are creating. Kudos to you. Uh, Something that was once again removed recently on LinkedIn, but kudos to you and keep up with the great work that you're doing.
They've removed just some of those
Yeah, yeah.
some of those special occasions, but yeah. Hmm. Let's see whether the fairy, which is helping us for the comments, has anything else for us. Once again, guys, for those who are watching us live, uh, we ask us this time, what's your favorite LinkedIn change in 2022? Um, I don't know. Maybe we can start with this one. Since LinkedIn is changing, and there is no doubt about it, and especially with the introduction of the TikTok-like video feed, with the introduction of more and more profile-oriented features, with the removal of some of the features for LinkedIn pages, even though the premium pages was well, it should have been a game changer. We're not sure whether this is a fact. But yeah, well, and that's a question to all of you. How did LinkedIn change overall?
It depends. I would believe that this is the answer that we can all give. It depends in terms of what. Change is something relative. and relativity is known since the early ages. That is something that can be really explained why it is happening and how can we control it. LinkedIn is
No, no, no.
changing
But
for the good of it,
let's be
I believe.
specific. Of course, everything has pros.
Alex, you're once
Everything
again.
has. I shouldn't be. Uh, am I okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, I just lax sometimes. But of course, change is relative. Of course, everything has its pros and cons. But for you personally, has it become a better social network, or it has become an overpopulated place that you're about to leave in not more than a couple of years if those changes keep coming?
Leave, definitely no. At least for me. Probably the girls have different opinions on the matter, but I believe that anyone who has invested time, no matter if in agency or working closely on LinkedIn, is somehow connected to the platform. They cannot just stop working with it out of the blue. For me, LinkedIn has changed both positively and negatively. I love the fact that LinkedIn is retiring probably the old features that are no longer acceptable and working for the majority of the people. Here I'm saying majority and I mean a majority. But for example, I'm not happy with the recent, it's actually not very recent anymore. It's from mid July onwards. The algorithm change which led to pretty much killing of all publications on the platform. I have myself suffered probably a couple hundred percent decrease in terms of people reached, in terms of impressions, in terms of comments, in terms of everything. Something that has been previously very cheered on LinkedIn, which are the posts, LinkedIn posts. They were cute previously, like in the beginning of the summer, they were down. Like a poll could have generated no more than probably a couple thousand impressions. They are now back with it with their full speed and their full power. So it's a positive sign, but in the end, LinkedIn changes for good and for bad. It just depends on the person and his purposes on the platform. This is my opinion, at least.
I was
Okay. Anyone else not leaving LinkedIn yet?
I was about to make at least two bad jokes while listening to Emil. That's what I'm going to start off with. The first one is, how he started about like it's relative. I was like, oh yeah, that's the sort of reply I always go for as a very much philosophy lover. So I was like, you stole that one out of me. And then the second one about, LinkedIn never leaving us because we've invested so much into the platform. And then, we work in an agency that does specialize in LinkedIn. I will still make that joke. That does sound a little bit like some sort of a traumatic ex experience. Like, we've been through thick and thin. I'll never forget her. She gave me light, she ruined me, whatever. It's hard. I do partially agree with him that, this will be a major part of who I am, no matter what, because it's already been like I've invested some time, a lot of time actually, into this platform. So I agree, but also I think sometimes it shouldn't be that deep, because you never know what the future holds. And veering off from these very philosophical and like joking, motherings and like musings of mine, what I think about LinkedIn over the past 1 year, it does line up with what Emma is saying. There have been changes. The platform is trying to move along for the better. Whether it is better or not, it's questionable because there are a lot more users on LinkedIn. People are a lot more, I would say, confident, a lot more active with thought leadership, with showing people how things get done. And as with every surge in popularity, you just get too much coming your way. And I do think that's one of the problems that I would point out. Like, there's just too much going on currently, and we've started, like, LinkedIn has started being memed across social media, like, oh yeah, like my dog died, this is 2 or 5 lessons I learned about B2B marketing. And that in itself for me is like the wrap up, my personal wrap up. It's becoming more popular. With more popularity, comes more responsibility with greater power. That's also another a reference for anyone that likes Spider-Man. Seems like I'm in a very joking mood. But a lot of people are doing good content, a lot of people are doing bad content, a lot more people are noticing the platform. It's only natural. Growth is natural. It comes with good sides, it comes with bad sides. Yeah, that's what I have to say. A little bit unserious sounding because all of those jokes I threw in there, but it is my personal opinion. Like, yeah, same with Emil. There are good things, there are bad things.
Maybe it's my turn to share what I think about it. As a place that people go not just when they need to change their job or they need to strong arm their bosses for some kind of a rage for a race, or I don't know, maybe climbing up into the corporate ladder. But LinkedIn is changing indeed, and what should leaders do? What should people who have experience, people who have dedication, people who have strategy for their own careers, what should they do on LinkedIn? So now we have AI. Now we also have, of course, the video feed. We have less reach, but still we have increasing amount and increasing percentages of engagement in discussions, engagement in comments. So my suggestion for you is to start publishing more. Start publishing much more often. Start searching for new resources that you'll be able to use them as inspiration for your own topics, for your own updates. Start experimenting with the types of content that you've always thought are too hard to invest your time in. So start shooting videos, start making PDFs to publish as documents. Start, I don't know, start making interviews with your industry leaders. So those are your peers or peers to be when you reach the level you're probably aiming at. So LinkedIn is changing, but are you changing together with LinkedIn is the main question that you all should ask yourselves. And it might take time. It might take um, some experimentation, but it depends just on one person, and this one person is you. And I'm, of course, already starting to sound like I am a some sort of a GPT, but yeah, those things are a cliche. But the thing we know about cliches is that they're based on some kind of truth. So you have the whole December to start working on your personal strategies, on the way you should structure your content, on the way you should uh, publish. Start with one post a week, then in February or in March, double the content and prepare yourselves for, let's say, 3 or 4 updates weekly. Uh, I don't know, maybe not after September, but yeah, use the summer especially to Analyze everything you have already achieved in the first half of 2025. It's a journey. Embark on this journey, as ChatGPT would advise you. So start doing it now. Don't wait for January 1st. Don't wait for March 1st, September, etc. There's no need to wait more. And what was
Alex,
this good enough?
it's a bit
You feel
strange.
inspired?
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I took two things, one from you, one from Dari. It's a bit strange from you saying that we should do interviews ever since you promised the LinkedIn that you would do live streams with industry leaders to help them enhance their profiles, and yet we have no live streams. We are waiting for them. What's happening?
Uh, I
False
don't know.
promises, perhaps?
You're reminding me that I have a message in WhatsApp from one of the industry leaders that we had a confirmed live streaming with. Uh, she was gone for a business trip, then I got sick. So, yeah, maybe in January. Well, no, we're not postponing anymore. I'm confirming for mid December, right after we finish uh, this live.
All
Is
right.
it okay for you? Is it
For me,
okay for all of us?
for me, it's perfect ever since you actually do your promise.
Yeah, keep pushing me, man.
Definitely. And the other thing that I took from this conversation from Dari is that LinkedIn is wrapping up things. So we are, and actually, I think it's the perfect time to introduce our LinkedIn Advent Calendar. Um, if you may allow us. Yesterday, as Spotify did wrap up already 2 days ago. Yesterday, I did my own wrap up, and ever since the 1st of December, we are wrapping up the the intensive information about how to create a profile on LinkedIn that sells. That not only exists on the platform, but actually sells and is able to achieve the goals that you or your company is setting. This LinkedIn Advent Calendar, I believe it will be visible to you on the screen in a few seconds. Yep, here it is. Um, the LinkedIn Advent Calendar is pretty much a daily email which we will be receiving from us, probably in the late afternoon, and it includes different advices on how to be better on LinkedIn in terms of your personal profile, how to update it, how to optimize it, and different tips and tricks that you can follow. And basically, you not only can, but you should follow if you want to really be the brightest shining star on the platform. We love stars. We love to be the best, and um, we really neglect sometimes our profiles, but this shouldn't be a fact anymore. So imagine that this is your push, as I already pushed Alex for his promise. Imagine that this is your promise for a better LinkedIn profile in 2025. It's a matter of fact. It's a matter of simple actions that you should do. It takes no more than 2 hours to complete your profile, and with the right help, with the right advices, which are basically from us currently, in those emails you will be able to achieve greatness within your platform. I believe I sounded a bit poetic here, but you will excuse me for the slangs and terms that I'm personally using. You may find our advent calendar um, in our recent posts, but for your own like um, for everyone who is currently watching the stream, we will leave a link below the live stream. Our helpful dwarf will probably be kind enough to leave a link to register. Uh, if she is watching currently live stream, I believe she does. Can you please,
She's a
Nikki?
fairy, man. She's a fairy, not a dwarf.
my
Remember,
yeah. Um, I'm sorry, Nikki. And by the way, since we live stream, Happy Name Day. Happy Name Day to everyone who is currently celebrating in Bulgaria. Be safe, sound, and wealthy. Ever since it's the banking holiday currently in Bulgaria. Uh, let 2025 be even better than 2024. And yeah, this is about the LinkedIn Advent Calendar. It's very good for everyone who is in his early stages on LinkedIn. It's perfect for everyone who is in the LinkedIn game for a long time, so he can basically check his watch whether he's on the right track. And yeah, I believe it's time.
yeah, plus if you're changing your job beginning January 1st, or if you're planning a career switch, or you're of course, you just want to start 2025 with some speed. Subscribe for the advanced calendar. There are too many use cases, but the one that should be important for you is that you need to have a good looking LinkedIn profiles if you enjoy this network. So, time to wrap up. Thanks for everyone for watching us, not just today, but for all those, uh, I don't know, how many were they? 10, 11 editions for the calendar 2024. Uh, Even though this is the fourth episode for the new business season, and we will be back, of course, in January. I think it's the 10th of January.
Indeed, yeah.
since
Yeah.
yeah, since we're going to have a bit longer vacation, but I think deserve it. We deserve it. You guys deserve it, definitely. If not me, so yeah, we'll have some fun. You all have some fun. Have amazing holidays. Love your families. Tell everyone you love that you do. That's really important. And we'll see you in 2025. Until then, whenever you find a reason, ask us anything about LinkedIn. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.